Welcome to the School Therapy Occupational Therapy video series. This video will review how to teach children to use scissors, the importance of scissor skills, and provide some suggestions and tips for home and school. Learning to use scissors is a very important skill for children, and practicing these skills on a regular basis is important for many reasons. Cutting helps develop eye-hand coordination as children hold the paper with one hand and cut with the other, using their eyes and hands together. The opening and closing motion of cutting with scissors helps children develop the small muscles in their hands. It encourages children to use bilateral coordination, which means the child can use both sides of their body at the same time. And cutting with scissors helps children with hand dominance, which then prepares them for having a dominant hand for writing and holding a pencil. As parents and teachers, we often think that children can learn to use scissors on their own. However, many children need help when learning to use scissors. It is important to teach your child how to hold scissors properly and how to use both hands together when cutting. An important cue to remember is the thumbs up cue. When cutting, the thumbs on both hands are pointing towards the ceiling, which helps children to remember how to hold the scissors and the paper correctly. When holding scissors with the dominant hand, the thumb is placed in the small loop. The index and middle fingers are usually in the larger loop, and the remaining fingers are curled into the palm of the hand. An alternate grasp is when the thumb and middle fingers are positioned in the loops, and the index finger is placed along the bottom of the blade for stability. When holding the paper is held with the non-dominant hand with the thumb pointed towards the ceiling. Children learn scissor skills in a developmental sequence. They start with random snipping, then control snipping, cutting straight lines, curved lines, simple shapes, and then complex shapes. Here is the sequence of development for cutting with scissors in more detail. When teaching your child or student how to cut with scissors, here are a few tips to remember. If your child or student is left-handed scissors are highly recommended. The blades of left-handed scissors are connected differently, which makes scissoring easier for left-handed children. Scissors that are supposed to be ambidextrous are really right-handed scissors. Make sure your child is well positioned at a table, with feet on the floor and tabletop between belly button and chest. If the table is too high, allow your child or student to stand, as this allows their arms and hands to be in a better position at their sides. Always check that the size of the scissors are appropriate for the child's hands and that their fingers fit in the loops. Also, make sure the scissors open and close easily. Teaching scissor safety at home and in the classroom is very important. If your child is young, sit with them first when learning to use scissors. Teach your child to cut away from their body. Teach your child not to run or climb with scissors. And teach them to always pass a pair of scissors handles first to another person. Here are some ideas of ways to practice scissor skills at home. Have your child practice cutting with different materials, such as Play-Doh, paper towel rolls, greeting cards, heavy paper or construction paper. Heavier paper or Play-Doh helps to develop hand strength. Use smaller pieces of paper at first when teaching your child, rather than full sheets, as smaller pieces of paper are easier for children to move. If you are drawing lines on paper for your child or student to cut, make sure the lines are dark and thick so they can see them clearly. And always start with simple lines and simple shapes first, then progress to more complex. A variety of adapted scissors can be used to help children who are struggling with hand strength, motor coordination, and/or range of motion. Your school occupational therapist can provide you with additional suggestions in this area. If you would like more information, please contact your school-based occupational therapist from your family of schools.